It was going to be a battle between two sons to take over their late father's company. It was not just going to be a battle, but a contention of their wives on who becomes the CEO. And even if these brothers aren't willing to put up a fight, these beautiful wives will go head-to-head to see this game to the end. But before we continue, welcome back to Highlight Movie Recap. Today I'll show you a love, drama, and suspense Nollywood film from 2024 titled Work It Out. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. If Nonso, who is the eldest son, loses the position of becoming the next CEO after his late father, it will be because his marriage is in shambles with his wife, Mira. The couple just returned from an event which pissed her off with the manner at which her husband kept hitting on a lady at the party. It became a boundless argument that almost cost them their lives, but they got home safely. This has been the routine of this couple, that they can't go a day without fighting. Should we say that when a relationship or marriage goes south in this manner, it should be the man's fault who failed to lead? You wouldn't blame anyone when one party gets fed up. Mira got fed up. She wanted a divorce. There were lots of questions that she couldn't find answers to. When was the last time they went on a date as a couple? Or the last time they had a meaningful conversation? She couldn't even remember the last time they made love. Just then, Nonso received a call. It's that one call that everyone prays not to answer. His father is dead, and they were to meet with the barrister. Before they left, he asked Mira if she still wanted to proceed with the divorce. To her, his father's death is more important to everyone. Nonso and his brother Chizzy met with the barristers for the will, and after the properties were shared to their satisfaction, Chizzy wanted to know what became of the company, which was the major share. Nonso will become the CEO with a 40% share as the eldest son, while Chizzy becomes the CFO and also a broad member with a 20% share of the company. Kyra happens to be the boss in Chizzy's marriage. She was the only one not happy with the will for having her husband with the minor share. Kyra became relieved when the clause on the will was read, which says that if Nonso and Mira happens to get divorced, his 40% share of the company will be transferred to Chizzy, and he becomes the CEO. Everyone was aware of Nonso and his wife's marriage issues. Kyra was going to do everything in her power to present evidence to the barristers that Nonso cannot handle his marriage. Nonso, on the flip side, wants to keep his inheritance, and the only way he could make him win is to make his marriage work. To Mira, what's most important to her is her happiness. Nonso was going to lose over ₦1 billion inheritance. He proposed that since their marriage wouldn't work, then they have to play a game of pretense for everyone to see. Mira has a good friend, V, who is aware of her marriage collapsing. She advised Mira to seek the help of a therapist. The brothers sat out to drink. Chizzy has no issues if his elder brother had the lion's share, regardless of what their wives think, and they promised each other to do this for life. Mira thought through her friend's advice and persisted that they both see a therapist if their marriage was going to work. Chizzy told Kyra about meeting his brother. He was convinced that his brother's marriage is at the verge of divorce. Kyra believes this was their chance, and she was going to make every single investigation count. Perhaps Nonso wouldn't have accepted to see a therapist, but his inheritance was on the line. The therapist asked a series of questions which needed an honest answer. And from all demonstrations, they found out that they still loved each other. But nothing seems to work in private. The truth is that most marriages break down not because of a partner's fling and unfaithfulness, but rather because of the other partner's overreaction and stubbornness. Should we say that Mira was willing to follow, but Nonso felt reluctant to lead? They went back to the therapist, but this time with much anger coming from Mira, because she can't remember when last he touched her. But Nonso felt that he was still mourning his father, and sex was the last thing on his mind. This clearly shows that Nonso was the problem in their marriage. They still had themselves at each other's throat after the session, but they never knew that Kyra had been following them to make investigations and get the evidence that she wanted. Nonso felt really bad after all his wife said at the last session with the therapist. He wants to make amends. Mira had been waiting for this day, and she grabbed it like it once slipped away. The next day, Nonso took the day off to prepare a nice meal for his wife and also spend quality time with her. They were enjoying the tasty meal when Kyra called, and she proposed that she and her husband come over to have dinner with them. Mira wasn't cool with the gesture, but she had no problem with the brothers bonding together. The brothers were good cooks compared to their wives, which was one of the many things they both learned from their late father. So they went to the kitchen to serve the food. Kyra got the chance she wanted to talk to Mira, who was surprised that Kyra knew about their therapy sessions. And since they were taking longer than expected to get a divorce, she was going to use the video as evidence to present to the barristers. The ladies acted like nothing happened in the presence of the brothers as they ate dinner together with so much hatred filled in their eyes. After they had left, Mira told her husband what had happened. This was a mistake on their path to let an outsider win over their home. The question now is Chizzy behind taking over his brother's inheritance while playing the role of a real brother in disguise. Nonso doesn't care about the inheritance or the position anymore. He loves his wife, and he is willing to accept his mistakes. They were finally called upon by the barristers who saw the video recordings. It was evident now that Nonso will have to give his brother all his shares and the position as the CEO. He accepted without putting up a fight. Chizzy wouldn't also accept that he takes his brother's share of the company. He has never been behind his wife's mischievous acts even when she was about to make a scene. He scolded her and put her in her place as a woman. All Kyra cares about is her husband getting all his inheritance, including that of Nonso, which was injustice to Nonso, even if he was having problems in his marriage. Nonso saw the sacrifice from his brother. He decided that the share of the company be shared equally instead of him taking the lion's share. The bottom line is that if thy brother wrongs thee, remember not so much his wrongdoing, but more than ever that he is thy brother, and let no woman come in between thee.
Thanks for watching this movie recap. Please comment your thoughts and also like and share this video for more super amazing videos that we're bringing to you. And if you're watching from our YouTube channel, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification for more. Thank you.